Hey guys, just starting out in your vlogging career, trying to become an epic filmmaker? Well, I'm going to go over 6 basic common mistakes that beginners make when they're just starting out on their careers. Stick around to the end though, and I got a bonus tip for you that'll really help up your game. Let's get into it. Now, one of the most common mistakes that I see with vloggers and filmmakers is they're just getting going. They don't have a story. There's no beginning, middle, and end. It's just kind of sporadic. They've gone to a place and they've shot all these different clips and they try and put it all together, but it doesn't really make sense. You need to think about what your story is. Take the viewer on a journey. What do you want to say? Do you want your video to speak for you and say something? Take the time, plan out what your story is going to be, and create your beginning, your middle, and your end. Even when I'm doing a tutorial like this, I need to create kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's not quite the same as a normal story like you would see in a movie, but you got to put the thought into what do you want to get across to the viewer, how do you want to express it. Now, my second point is not planning your shoot. Do you need permission where you want to shoot? Get the authorization before you go. What props? Do you need props, or is it just you? Are you just going to be out vlogging and you're the only prop within it? But if you need props, what props do you need? Create a prop list, write it down. Then you need to create a shot list. You need to think about, if this prop's doing this, you need to create an action list. Now here's kind of an example of what I do when I'm going to be shooting. I break down what props, what's going on in each piece, and if there's an action to it, I write that down and then I turn it into an actual shot. And I break all my shots down and then I put them in order that I need to shoot. If I'm shooting, say, a story with a cake, and I cut the cake to start with, but at the end I need a whole cake, I kind of messed up. So I need to put it in the order that I need, with the cake uncut first, then finishing with a cut cake. And then I can put it in the order I want. So you really need to give thought to when you're doing it. Even when you're vlogging, filmmaking, out and about, you're doing a nature thing, you need to put it in a sequence. It's no good you falling out of the boat when you need to be in the boat first. So now another one of my pet peeves, cleaning equipment. You need to make sure that your camera's clean. Clean your lens. I've shown in the past a lens pen, and it's a handy little quick way to clean a lens. There's lots of cleaning products out there, but not just your lens. Make sure your camera's clean. Make sure all your equipment is clean and working. And with that, you need to make sure your batteries are charged. When I went to do this shoot, thank God I checked, I only had less than a quarter of a battery left on my camera, so I had to charge it before I could sit down and do this video for you. Had I not, I'd have got partway through like this and battery would have died on me. Now here's something else. If you're just starting out and you're just beginning in the world of photography and videography, getting off auto settings. If your camera has the ability to go into manual, I strongly suggest you doing that. Even with your cell phone, you can get into manual settings. There are apps like Filmic Pro and a few others, Adobe Lightroom, that you can add to your phone to get you off auto. Learn to get control of your phone and your camera. I can't stress that enough. Read your manual. Everything comes with a manual, or nowadays it's more of a PDF online. Download it, read it, learn how to control your camera, your phone, whatever, to get the best quality you can out of it, and how to adjust things. Get to understand your piece of tech. The better you understand the technical aspect of photography, the more it gives you that creative freedom, because you know how everything works. Practice. Practice. Watch my videos. Watch other people's videos and practice. Did I say practice? Practice. Practice, 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 and you'll only get better. Now, this point is a topic of hot discussion all over the place, and it has been, and it probably will be forever. Frame rate. What is the frame rate that you should be using? If you notice on my channel a lot, I shoot at 30 frames per second. I mainly do tutorials. I'm not after that cinematic, cool look, which 24 frames per second typically is known for. So 24 frames per second is known as the cinematic look. 30 frames per second is kind of the middle child of the family, so to speak. It's kind of left out. Everyone talks about 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second when you're doing slow-mo, but they shoot 24 frames per second. And if you want to see something interesting, take a 30 frames per second video, drop it into a 24 frames per second timeline, and adjust the 30 frames per second down to 80% of its speed. So you're taking off 20%, and check out how cool that is. Give it a try, see what you think. But it's hotly debated, 24, 30, but I have noticed a lot of people are going back to 30 frames per second when they said that they never would. It's quite curious. 60 and 120, the more frames you have, when you slow it down, you get that smoother look to your slow motion. And that's why people shoot in higher frame rates. So if you know from your shot list that this part's in slow motion, you need to adjust your frame rate higher so you can get that epic slow motion footage. All I can suggest to you is use the frame rate that you want to give you the intended look that you want for your vlog or for that epic video. That's all I can suggest, is practice, play with it. Look at some of my videos, look at other people's videos to get a better understanding of that and come up with your own unique style and design. And who knows, you might be the next trendsetter. Now, a hot topic again of discussion, especially on YouTube, is audio. It's nothing worse than bad audio. Now, check this out. The cat jumped over the fence and the fox ran away with the cat. Do you hear that? That is directly from my camera right there. Now, I'm going to play it back, that same piece of audio, through my overhead shotgun style microphone. The cat jumped over the fence and the fox ran away with the cat. Hear the difference? Now let's put them one right after the other and see if you can see the difference between my camera audio and a shotgun microphone. Cat jumped over the fence and the fox ran away with the cat. Cat jumped over the fence and the fox ran away with the cat. Speaks for itself. Now, I'm recording through a shotgun microphone to an external audio recorder. I'm not recording even into my camera. The camera is designed more or less to be a camera versus an audio capture device. It does have audio capabilities, and if you have no choice, then definitely connect to your camera, to your cell phone. If you can adjust the audio levels so that you're not clipping, kudos. That's what you want to do to make sure that your audio is not clipping. Now, if you can, get a separate audio recording device, say like the Zoom H1 or various other sound recording devices, so you can connect your mic to it. Then what you do in post is you sync your audio to your video and you get better quality audio. Because seriously, how many times have you guys seen on YouTube where you go to somebody's video and the audio is really bad, it's really echoey or very distant? They could have corrected it. So I suggest don't use onboard microphones for your camera or your cell phone. Use an external one, whether it's a lav style microphone that you've hidden or got clipped on your collar, or you're using a shotgun style microphone like I got up here. Use an external microphone. Try and use a sound recorder. I will put a link down below to a video I did where I used an iPhone SE as a sound recording device with a lav mic, and I used it for quite a few of my earlier videos, and it works fine. It's better than using the onboard of my camera. It actually worked better, and I get a better quality because of the microphone. So that is one way to do it. I will also put a link down below to the Zoom H1N that I'm using for sound audio. It helps my audio because, like I say, seriously guys, there's nothing worse than bad audio. You heard the difference. It is huge. You can improve it yourself. Now, when I said stick around to the end, because that was our sixth tip there, because I got a bonus thing for you, exposure. If you read your manual, you get into manual, you can control your exposure more accurately than having the camera determined for you. You can do a balance between that background and the subject, and you can get better control. Within your cell phone, within cameras, they have what's called zebra stripes, kind of like this. You can see where all that zebra striping is. That's basically telling you you've blown your highlights. There's potentially no detail whatsoever in that. Have you seen pictures from a wedding where the bride's dress is pure white? There's no detail. There's no lace. It's just pure white blob because the exposure was wrong. It was too high. If you use the zebra stripes, it'll tell you that you're clipping your highlights and you can adjust down. If you don't have zebra stripes, what about, say, like on the back of this Nikon? How about the flashing? So wherever it's flashing, it's basically telling me I'm overexposed and there's no detail in those highlights. Now there is a give or take to it because sometimes it's flashing a little bit, but you haven't quite clipped it. But you're very, very close. What about the histogram? If we use the histogram, it'll tell us a graphic range between our shadows and our highlights and how it balances between it. So when we shift our exposure, we can see if we're clipping our highlights, whether we're burying our blacks. We can get a nice balance in the middle of our histogram and get that more accurate exposure. So again, read your manual, get into manual mode, and use these controls to help you get a better exposure for your videos. Learn to control your exposure and improve the quality of your videos. So that's 7 points. I gave you 6, and then I gave you that bonus one of exposure. These are some common basic mistakes that I see all the time when people are just starting to learn out. So if you're just beginning, like I say, in your vlogging career or your epic filmmaking career, these tips, learn and practice, and you will get better and you will start producing some quality work. All right, that's it for this one. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos like this. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. So, until the next time.